You're both nuts.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be tasting a wine that we're featuring this week at the cellar. It's from one of our favorite wineries in the Okanagan, from Poplar Grove. And the wine we're tasting today is the CSM.
One of my favorite wineries from the Okanagan, that's for sure. So CSM, so it's a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Syrah, which is kind of a different blend. We don't see that a whole lot. So each one brings a different component to this wine. Cabernet is going to bring us that big, rich, supple tannin, dark fruit, a lot of power to it. The Syrah is going to give us some smoky, meaty notes, maybe blue fruit, a little bit of leather, blueberry, yeah. And then the Merlot is also going to add a little bit more of that really nice, refined tannin. It's going to give us a little bit more alcohol and maybe some chocolatey mocha notes.
Sounds delicious.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So the vineyards that this wine comes from come from both the Osoyoos area and from their estate vineyards on the Naramata Bench. And the reason why they would have a combination of these vineyards is because Cabernet Sauvignon in the Okanagan doesn't always have a full opportunity to ripen if it's not grown close to the border in that warmer climate, because the Okanagan is a very cool climate region. So growing it closer to the border in the desert area near Osoyoos gives it more of an opportunity to ripen. Mm-hmm. They started harvesting the Cabernet Sauvignon in the Osoyoos vineyards in mid-September, and then they didn't actually finish harvesting until late November, which is really late.
I was going to say,
right?
that's winter.
Yeah. But because the Okanagan has moderate, warm falls, it gives the opportunity for the grapes to ripen slowly to achieve a beautiful phenolic ripeness without having a lot of sugar in the grapes.
That's really good. I mean, that's going to produce a lot of aromatics in the wine. So yeah, and with all the grape varieties that we already talked about, I mean, it's going to be great.
Yeah. So the Syrah for the blend is grown mostly near their estate vineyards in the Naramata Bench area. And this area is gorgeous for that lake effect that you get in some wine regions, where the lake will actually reflect heat off of the surface and then into the vineyards. And then it also cools the grapes down by the breezes that come off of the lake. So you have ripeness from that heat, from the reflection, and then you also have cooling the grapes, which retains the acidity.
Yeah, which is great for ripening. You want that slow ripening effect, right? So you get a really nice full grape that we can make into delicious wine.
Full body. Yeah. And so this one was matured for 21 months in French oak barrels. And at Poplar Grove, they'll use up to 3 times their French oak barrels. And the fewer times that a barrel is used, the more flavor that it's going to contribute to the wine. And then the more times it's used, the more neutral that barrel is going to be. So they always also will mature their wines for a little bit longer than a lot of wineries do in the winery before releasing, so that when it's released, it's a lot closer to being able to drink, so you don't have to mature it as long in your cellar.
Yeah, I like that style of release.
Yeah.
That way, you buy it off the shelf, you get this beautifully aged wine already, so you can just open it up, drink it.
Yeah, not worry
it.
about it. And then at least they know too that their wine is showing really nicely when it's bought by the consumer.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, let's taste this.
Let's do it. Beautiful color. Oh, I got some sediment in mine, that's okay.
There are some tartrates on the cork, which is okay.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Tartrates are okay. I mean, you don't want to necessarily eat them because it's not.
You can if you want, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
Just leave them there on the cork.
It's crunchy tannin. That's what it is.
Yeah. So nice color. Beautiful red.
Beautiful red. A little bit of that orangey, coppery thing going around the edge.
There's a bit of brick,
Yeah, brick. That's a good descriptor on that one.
So I think you can smell all the components right away.
I think so too. Yeah, you get that nice dark fruit and a little bit of that graphite from the Cabernet.
Definitely.
You get a little bit of the blue fruit, a little bit of tobacco coming from the Syrah.
Followed up with a bit of mocha and chocolate from the Merlot.
A little mocha and a little chocolate from the Merlot.
As predicted.
Yeah, exactly what we thought it was going to be. So.
And all of these varietals are vinified separately. So they ferment the Cabernet Sauvignon, the Syrah, and the Merlot all separately. They mature it separately, and then they blend afterwards, which is why we can pick out those aromas and flavors.
Absolutely.
If they were to co-ferment, it would be a lot more difficult because the integration of the flavors would be a lot greater.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Smells great. Let's taste it.
So
okay.
Good.
Really good. Yeah, I'm gonna have another sip.
Just just in case, I didn't get all the flavors, just gonna go back for another one.
You can
so.
always tell by the second sip. So this wine has some really great components to it. Really nice acidity, but not overdone acidity. Medium tannins.
Yeah, and the finish is just like this beautiful oaky mocha, a little bit of smokiness in there. Gorgeous finish on this. Just keeps
Long
going.
finish, yeah. This entire time that you've been talking, I've been sitting here being like, oh, this tastes great.
I could almost see you counting in your head as I was talking. But yeah, no, it's super balanced between all the components, right?
Yeah.
Which is skillful of the blender who put that together as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And at Poplar Grove, they decree that they're farmers before they're winemakers. So most of the work that they do is in the vineyards. It's making sure that the vines are tended to meticulously so that each bunch is harvested when it's optimally ripe. And each vintage will give them different challenges. So each year they have to treat the vineyards differently than they would the year prior. depending
Yeah,
on
you have to
weather.
go with the climate, right? So.
Yeah. And I think that they do a really great job of that at Poplar Grove as far as vintage variation. They really mitigate that in the vineyards and they do a great job. Like I said, this is one of our favorites in the store. I mean, for me in history, Poplar Grove has always been one of my favorite wineries in the Okanagan. My car turns in there automatically when I'm driving down there. I'm on a bench. Love their wines, and we're going to be featuring this today in our newsletter, on our website. So check it out.
Definitely pick up a bottle.
Yeah.
If you've never tried it, or if you have, it's a great revisit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cheers. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.